First, I just want to make a prayer of praise and thanksgiving to God for this beautiful weather we're having. Right? It's about time, I think. Everything comes with a cost. And my allergies, there's a little fog going on here this morning. I had to ask Audrey, the altar server, did I just do the Lord have mercy, or did I already do that? I'm getting a little lost. So, in your pews on the ends are little kind of half sheets. Just invite you to pass those down, maybe one per family. This is a yearly thing we often do. It was kind of on hiatus for the last couple of years with COVID, but it's time and talent. Just kind of advertising, you could say in a way, inviting you to consider giving a little bit more at our parish in terms of the gifts the Lord has given you. So listed on there are a bunch of our ministries. And of note, this is not exhaustive. This kind of just scratches the surface. These are the ministries that are in need of ministers, right? And so if you are interested, we invite you to fill one of these out. You could drop it in the collection basket, or there's a basket on the table as you leave. It's not signing you up, right, today. It's just saying that you're interested in it. And that will contact you with some more information to kind of help you discern if it would be a great ministry for you or for your family. So if you'd like to take one of these and fill it out, you are most welcome to. We hear in the first reading, Acts of the Apostles, that the disciples seem to be traveling everywhere. They're going to this city, that city, and it reads that they made a considerable number of disciples. And just a few passages later, it says they baptized 5,000 in one day. Right? That we see the effects of the resurrection of Jesus. We see the effects of his church doing what he commanded her to do. Go forth, baptize in my name, tell them the good news. The kingdom is here. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's something we could participate in our own lives, in our own day. But I think it's worth backing up a little bit to pre-resurrection, pre-glorification, the church kind of going out to the ends of the earth, to that moment when Judas has just left, as that first line tells us in our gospel, John 13. So Judas has just left, and Jesus immediately says, actually you could say he even commands, love one another. But not only this, he adds, he kind of qualifies it. He says, love one another as I love you. And I think we could even add, love one another as I love you, as even I still continue to love him who has just left. Like the Lord's love, he invites ours to be sacrificial, selfless, forgiving, kind, patient, and even extended to all persons, even those who hurt us or will hurt us. I think it's interesting how Jesus starts this invitation to love as he loves, though. He starts it by saying, my children, or more accurate in the Greek is little children. He effectively calls them infants, right? So Origen, he's an early church father. He died in the year 253. He writes this, that their souls were still in infancy. But these little children, after his death, were made brothers. As before, they were just little children. They were servants. So the death and resurrection of Jesus, it does something to them. But I find it interesting that Judas never heard those words to love one another. He never made it to the then. He never made it to the after-death part, to Jesus' glory and his triumph. You could say to being made a brother, being brought together closer through that. He didn't remain in that kind of thick darkness of love. As I have loved you, so you should also love one another. I think it would be infantile of us to think that this love we're being called to is one of just pure emotions or feelings, right? Of being nice or welcoming, or just giving a nod of the head. It's kind of a cheapness, if you will. St. Augustine said that it is not the love with which men love one another, but that of the children of the Most High God that Jesus is inviting us into. So there's almost two meanings to him saying, my little children. He wants us to love like children, children of his Father in heaven. This love he calls us to is a love of sacrifice, of selflessness, forgiveness, kindness, patience, extended to all persons, even those who hurt us. And by ourselves, we can't do it. That's what I often tell even my wedding couples, it's going to fail, okay? Your love. but his love will never fail, right? So when those moments come, right, the tree sways a little bit, are you rooted in the ultimate and most perfect of lovers, Jesus, right? To be united with him in his one glorified body, right? Through him we can live that sort of love. So this is why he tells them today. He says, remain in my love, even if it gets dark, even if the feelings kind of fade away. Then he says, be my disciples by loving one another. And through this act, imitate and participate in my love so that you could live with me forever.